Well, hello out there. You're Lee.
And you're Irene.
And this is
The Lee and Irene Show.
Yay! Oh, we are here in the cabin for a very important and timely episode, Lee.
We sure are. And first up, we're going to check out what's popping. And this week's topic has been on our vision boards for months now. We're actually going to be discussing manifestation, something that I know we both practice in our own way.
That's right. And later on, we have our own manifestation. And that's our Justin to ask us a question. We're talking about manifestation. And I know we both use it and we've both seen it work. But it is really interesting that we both have our own very different ways of manifesting, even though technically they are both giving us exactly the same results, which is bringing into reality those objects and experiences that I guess can I say it? We're dreaming about.
Yeah. Interestingly, sometimes people say that when you dream about something, it doesn't really work. Because I think I'm being honest about this. The only way to have this conversation credibly is a couple of interesting reasons, I think. The first one is that, if you just people throw out things when they manifest, don't they? Like, the Ferrari, the private jet, the $30 million. Close your eyes, believe it hard enough, and the universe will deliver a specific dollar amount directly into your bank account. There's that version, right? But I feel like all those sort of financial numbers they don't really have any emotional truth to them. So when you say you want $5 million, it's a figure, but it's not really a feeling. And I think that manifestation works through emotional resonance, through your nervous system, through the brain's filtering systems, through the way that your intention works, what you notice, what you pursue. And you can't really feel $30 million. So you can't really inhabit it. And you're giving your brain a target that it has really no idea how to orient towards. That's my feeling on manifestation. And I know we think about this completely different, right?
So that's the thing, Lee. And I've heard this over the years, and I can tell you I'm 100% sure that this is the case. It is just as easy to manifest a Ferrari than it is to manifest $5 appearing out of your wallet. And I know that sounds crazy because it actually isn't about the number or the object. It is about the way you feel. And if you can get the feeling that you already own the Ferrari in the same way that you can get the feeling that you can already find $5, they are just as easy to manifest. The problem is we believe that it's harder to get the Ferrari, and we don't really genuinely believe that we can just manifest a Ferrari out of thin air. But the thought of being able to manifest a $5 note is a lot easier because most of us can probably find $5 somewhere from someone or our own bank account, and that's the difference. And if you can make that feeling that you can get a Ferrari just as easy as that feeling of getting the $5 note, then that really, and I've just summed up the whole episode in one sentence, but that's really that feeling that I think describing.
The feeling is definitely part of it, but if it is, say, for example, you're saying a financial goal, it's money, right? There's so much more to that. Security, freedom, creative expression, being able to take care of your family, all of those things really matter. The underlying thing is what you actually want, right? And that's your emotional truth. And that is what you can manifest. You can manifest the emotional truth of something. But I think when someone goes and writes a number on a piece of paper, that is not really the way, personally, I think that it works. That's the way I look at it, because I feel like when you're manifesting, okay, this is the thing that everything that gets glossed over in every single manifesting course ever sold, that passive wishing is not manifestation. So you're sitting on a couch, you're picturing a number, you're waiting for it to appear. But the real practice is getting emotionally honest about what you want, how you feel about it, and then you start acting in alignment with it. You know how some people just write a number down and go, okay, this is what I want, and that's it. So all of the steps, there's so much more to it. There's a lot of steps that actually matter. The real practice is getting specific and emotionally honest about what you want, and you feel it as already real, and then you act in alignment with it. Because every single one of these steps matters. It's not just one thing, it's a multitude of things, I think. Remove the action and you just have a fantasy, really.
Okay, so what should you try instead, Lee, if it's not the 30 million or the number that you're writing down?
Well, I think you should really ask yourself what the money would actually give you. It's the feeling of walking out of a job that's draining you. If it's the ability to say yes when your kids need something, is it a creative life where you're not constantly managing scarcity? Find that feeling and manifest that feeling. The material things are just one possible route to it, and the universe is not just limited to that route. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, I totally understand what you're
Yeah.
saying. What you're saying is, because at the end of the day, money, it's not the money that you want, and it's not the Ferrari that you want. They are those feelings that you are going to get when those things appear in your life. So it's basically saying that you want those things because you truly believe that your life is going to be better or improved with them. So it's really that life improvement that you are stretching for. I think what's important to know is if that's the case, and I truly believe that, then it really isn't the number or how you're going to achieve it that you need to focus on. You just need to focus on what is it that you are trying to achieve. So, for example, the Ferrari, the achievement or the feeling that you want from that isn't specifically the Ferrari. You just want to be able to, like for me, for example, I might love the feeling, like firstly, I just want to say, I don't like Ferraris. I just want to put that out there that actually owning a Ferrari is definitely not something that I want in my life. But if I did, it would be the feeling of the sun on my skin driving up the Palm Beach and looking at the ocean with the top down, and that beautiful warm feeling of being one with the universe and one with the earth. And that is the feeling that I want. Right now, I'm going to be honest, I can't get that. I'm not going to get that feeling, right, in a Volkswagen. I'm sorry, I'm just not. And so I might need a convertible for that feeling. And then as long as I'm hanging on to the feeling, and it's that feeling that I want, the feeling of freedom, the feeling of looking at the ocean, that feeling you get, Lee, when you walk the dog to the beach and back. I'm not much of a walker. I'd like to drive. But that's the feeling. And if you feel that enough and strong, and you feel that strongly enough, and then the car's going to come. It might not be a Ferrari. Actually, the universe will probably give you
and that's
something
the
else.
thing. You're absolutely right there, Irene. It is about the feeling, okay? So this kind of manifestation is what separates the real thing from the Instagram version. The Instagram version is about acquisition, but the real thing is about alignment. So once you're aligned and you're really genuinely clear on what you want and why you want it, and you're acting as if it's already on its way, that's when things start moving. But it's not always, like you say, in the shape that you expected, but they do move. And that is the conversation that we're having today. Not the carnival version, not the Instagram version, the actual one.
And it's free. And I will say, I don't believe in doing any kind of manifestation course at all. Anyone that asks you to pay them to help you manifest, already I just think that just goes against the rules of the universe.
I agree. And I'm so excited to be talking to you about this today, because I know we both do it, but we do it in a different way. And I want to interview you about it. And I want to ask you a question that we ask all of our guests, as you know. What got you into it? Like, not the theory, but the very first thing, the moment, the book, the circumstance. When did it actually land for you? Like, how did you start? Tell me all.
Lee, you're giving me chills, and I didn't know you were going to ask me this question, but you know what? There was a moment. There was a moment when my life changed, and it was actually, you don't know this, it's actually my mum.
Yeah.
So I was working, where was I? pretty sure I was at Universal Pictures at the time where we met, Lee, at that time, around the time that we met. And, you know, it was a struggle working in corporate for me. It was always a struggle because I was always such a round, you know, peg in a square corporate box. Anyway, so my mum sent me a YouTube video one day on a lady called Esther Hicks. And she's what The Secret, the book and the movies that was based on her, on Esther Hicks. And she basically, if you don't know who Esther Hicks is, oh my God, please Google her. But she basically talks to, I don't know how to describe it at all. It's so clear in my head. She is a voice for the collective in the universe. So Esther Hicks basically channels a collective called Abraham, and it's like, you know, all of the knowledge of the universe. I don't really understand how it all works. But anyway, so Mum sends me this YouTube, and it really resonated with me because I was probably having a really stressful, you know, week at work, and I had like a mortgage, and I was driving a VW. I'm not joking. I was. And anyway, and so I was really getting into that. And so from there I ended up reading The Secret and watching The Secret. But what had happened was Esther Hicks was doing a tour in Australia, and Mum bought me tickets because by, you know, around that time I was getting really into it. So we went to see her.
Yeah.
So we had to bring this book with us to this event. And Esther Hicks was on stage, and I just remember sitting there with a pen and a notepad, and it was blank at the time. I still had that book now, and it's just so, it's called my manifestation book, and everything I write in there always comes true. So we had to write, the stories I could tell you, but I'd written down in there what I wanted at the time, and I'm pretty sure it was along the lines of, how am I going to get enough money for a deposit for a house, or something simple like that. I really needed to get out of the situation that I was in. So I walked away from that event with a notebook and some dreams, and they weren't extensive. They weren't like I want a Ferrari. They were just things that most Aussies want in life: my own home, money for a deposit, a little bit of financial freedom, those sorts of things. And that would have been around about the time that I ended up leaving Universal Pictures and starting my own business. And when I started Nourish Life, I would have put, I'm just waffling again. I'm just going to stop it there. So that would have been around about the time that I ended up leaving corporate, and my life changed. And my life changed because I learnt the importance of creating your own reality from that event.
So do you have any skepticism earlier? Was it that moment of genuine belief when you were in that course that changed everything for you? Or
yeah, before that course, I was a completely different person. Before that course, I was really jealous of people that would win the lotto and that would have money, that would drive a nice car, that would have a home. I was just really like envious, like, how do they have that? Like, why don't I have that? Why aren't I good enough? And that was how I thought before I had gone to that event. And then after coming out of that event, I realised that actually everybody can create whatever reality that they want to create. And that was the most empowering, most amazing realisation that had ever happened to me. And another thing that came out of that event was I realised that even though you create your reality when good things happen, you also create your reality when bad things happen. And I used to blame a lot of negativity on, bad luck and those sorts of things, or try and put the blame on someone else. Like, for example, I'm not a, millionaire because, my parents, weren't millionaires. I don't have old money, those sorts of things. But I also now from that moment, I took full responsibility for everything that I do. So I know from there that I create the reality, positive or negative. And I just wanted to say one other thing on that. So something happened after that event. I had written, you're going to laugh because we all talked about not writing a number down. I had written $20 million in that book coming off that event, and that was my goal. I was going to get $20 million, and I wanted $20 million because I wanted to start a beauty, not toxin-free beauty business, and that was my goal, and I had written that in the book, and I needed $20 million to create. I felt that I needed $20 million, right, so I could go off and do this business. I bought a Powerball ticket. I remember I was at the Forestville shops and I bought a $20 million Powerball ticket, and I said to the universe, I'm going to win this $20 million. And I had just come off the Esther Hicks event, and I was pretty confident I was going to win this $20 million. So I bought the Powerball ticket. And then I was driving to work a couple of days later, and it was announced on the radio that someone had won their Powerball ticket of the $20 million in Sydney.
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought, holy crap.
It's me.
Holy crap. I wrote it down and it works. This is amazing. So I pulled over to check the ticket, and I was pretty convinced it was me. So I checked the ticket, and you know what? It wasn't me. And I got out of the car, I sat in the gutter, and I cried. I actually cried. I was absolutely devastated. Actually, we'll never forget. I was probably one of the most devastated I have ever been. And I eventually wiped my tears off, and I got back in my V-dub and I looked up in the sky and I said, fuck it. I'm going to make my own $20 million.
Yeah.
And I never bought another lotto ticket again.
Have you never bought one?
I never bought another lotto ticket again. But I then decided I was going to start this business and run this business as if I had a $20 million backing.
Wow.
And that's when I started Nourish Life. And fast forward to 2017, 4 years later, after this crying on the gutter, the same $20 million that was written in the book, same number, I sold my company for $20 million.
Wow. That's incredible.
So I got it in the end, but not how I... There you go. See, the universe gives it to you, not how you think you're going to get it.
Yeah. And do you still have the book? And
I thought you were going to say, do I still have the $20 million?
Well, I know the answer to that question.
Not after starting Sands Drinks, no.
But you still have your book.
I still have the book. I wrote in the book, you know, where I wanted to live and the sort of house that I wanted, and you know, all of that. I actually, all of that manifestation came true, including the street and the view, and everything ended up coming true. Yeah,
wow.
It did. Yeah. Do I have any of those things now, Lee? No, I don't. No, a lot's happened since then, but it is a lot harder to manifest the second time round. I think the first time round, because you're not holding on to it too tight and you don't really believe it's going to happen, you kind of let it go. I think once it's actually happened, like I say to myself, well, when you manifested 20 million, we'll just manifest 100 million. You know, it's just as easy, but it's actually harder once you've done it once, because I've got so much pressure on myself now. So I'm really looking forward to this episode and getting more tips from you as well, because you know, just because you can do it all once, it's not as easy as I may have made it out to be. All right, so there's my story, Lee.
It's a good one.
There, thanks. My queen of manifestation. What? When did it happen for you? What was your moment?
Well, it wasn't really a moment, because I grew up with an intuitive mum. My mum's very intuitive.
See? Was your mum as well?
Yes, very.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, very, very intuitive. And from a very early age, I would experience very vivid dreams, and these dreams would later seem to line up with real life. And it's kind of like a bit of a manifestation thing within the dreams that was happening. And I noticed that the dreams would foreshadow or mirror things in waking life. And in the beginning, I would just dismiss everything and think, oh, it's just a dream. You know, it's just my subconscious just trying to give me a message about something. But I now treat those messages as a much deeper part of myself. I used to just, you know, wave them off and go, oh, it's nothing. But now I understand things in before my waking mind does. So in my subconscious and when I'm dreaming, I really understand things.
Can you
a
give
lot
me an
better.
example?
Oh, there's so many.
Give me the first example of the first
Okay.
time when this happened.
Oh, I can't remember like way back to a very first time, but I can tell you recent things.
Okay.
So I dreamt I had a melanoma on my forehead, and I had this dream. I saw everything. I saw them cutting it out. I saw the operation. I saw all of it. So I thought, oh, it's a bit scary, but then I waited a couple of weeks, and then I saw a black dot appear on my forehead.
Oh my God.
And I thought it was mascara, so I started trying to wipe it off at the top of my forehead, and I was wiping it off and it wouldn't go away. So I went to the skin cancer clinic at Warriewood and said, could you please biopsy this? And they thought I was insane because it was the tiniest dot. It was actually the world's second smallest melanoma. The smallest melanoma in the world is someone in Wales, and mine was the second smallest
my God.
melanoma. Anyway, I had to really convince them to do a biopsy on me because they just thought I was a bit crazy. And I was like, I've had this dream. I really need you to biopsy it. Anyway, they did, and it came back positive for melanoma, and I had it taken out. And everything that was in my dream just was happening in real life. So it's interesting. It's definitely a force that happens. And since then, I've kind of used it a lot more in my clinical work because I kept seeing patients come in with specific conditions, and instead of sort of focusing so much on the problem and the symptoms, I would use my intuition and the way that I was working with things to help them change their mental orientation, if that makes sense. So I also added, with my yoga teaching, I added breath work, and I made it much more of a holistic consultation. And I started treating it less as woo-woo because I've had so many experiences in clinic where people, when you do tap into that intuition, you can really help people on another level as well. Not that I don't take into consideration the clinical side of things. Of course I do.
Yeah.
Of course I do. But I used it as an additional tool, to help them tap into their own knowing and intuition.
So
what I mean?
I do. So did you then do what I would have done and say, okay, I've got a superpower. I know that I'm very intuitive. So that's all very good that I've been able to diagnose a future potential health risk, and I can also be very intuitive with helping my patients. But have you then used that power to make some money or get a Ferrari? Like, how did you extend that knowing into creating, for example, the beautiful house that you're in now? Like, how do you take that superpower and make your dreams come to fruition with it?
It's so funny, isn't it? Because to me, it's not a thing I really think about. So, for example, with the house, because I lived such an intuitive life with my mum, it was just normal for me to think this way and to do things this way. So with the house, I had seen the movie. What's that movie where they're in a boat and she wants a little white house with a deck? That famous romantic rom-com. Do you know it, Justin? Notebook? The Notebook. So I watched The Notebook. Yeah, I watched The Notebook.
I think that's supposed to be a sad movie, isn't it? I've never watched it. I don't watch it.
I watched it, and she said,
Thanks,
I want
Justin.
a little white house with a little white deck and blue shutters. Anyway, that's what I said. I said, I want a little white house with a white deck overlooking the water. I knew where I wanted it, Palm Beach. And I just kept imagining myself and feeling myself in this house. And then, during COVID, I was actually wanting to move up to Palm Beach, and I had found this place online. The only problem was we were under lockdown, so I couldn't actually come and see it. So after my 17th phone call to the real estate agent, I was finally then, allowed to come and see it. And as soon as I walked in, I just knew. And the problem was because the COVID ban had been lifted, when I had come up to see it, I had put in an offer. But a lot of other people were now interested because it's such a magical little house.
And that's the height of real estate. It was the height, like the most expensive time to buy.
Yeah, it was actually a good time for me to buy, actually, because I just knew I really wanted this house. And then, as soon as I walked in, I just definitely knew. And then the people that owned it were Indian, and I'm half Indian myself. But I knew that there was all these other offers coming in. And I had put down an offer and they had accepted it, but then there were even better offers coming in, you know. And so I was literally that night praying to the Indian gods, going, please, please let me have this house. I know this house is for me. I really want this house. And feeling it and manifesting it. And they honored our agreement, and I was able to then get the house. So that's how I used manifestation in that sense.
Oh, I love that.
Do you like that?
So much. Yeah, I love that. I love that story. Something happened really similar to me once, but different. So I just had my house on the market, and I moved after everything had happened with Sans Drinks, and I moved up here actually next to you, which is I just needed a sea change. And recently we've been thinking it'd be nice to maybe move a little closer to where we came from. And I thought, because I'd had that location in my manifestation book, that I'll just bring the book out again and manifest to go back to where we were. And I went back looking at places for the last 3 or 4 months, and I just wasn't feeling it. Just wasn't feeling like that was the right area. And then on the weekend, we did get an offer for our house and I didn't really want to take it because I really do love my house very much. And I love it up here. But I remember also praying, and it was interesting because I was in the cafe over at Clontarf where I came from, and I was just thinking, I wonder if anyone's looking at me as I had my hands up in prayer position in the cafe. And I didn't say it out loud because it was a busy cafe. I was just saying it with my eyes closed, like a
mantra.
Yeah, I think people were probably thinking that I was just doing, what is it that you say before you eat?
Oh, saying your prayers.
Yeah, just the usual, like, thank you for the food.
Our Father. Oh, what is it? For what we're about to receive.
Yeah, exactly, because, we're Catholic. So I did have my hands up in the prayer position, and I said this. I said, universe, I don't care where I live, and I don't care what the house looks like. I just want you to please let me know when I find the one. I just want to know the house, and can it please be today? Can I please find my house today? We looked at about 8 houses that day. Please, can I find my house today? Because I needed to move forward. But I really wasn't specific at all on that one. I just said to the universe, come on. You got to treat the universe like ChatGPT, right? With the prompt. My prompt was, you know enough about me now. It's been 51 years. Please give me my home, my forever home. Anyway, that day on the last house, the 8th house we looked at, which was not in the area at all, it was a bit of a curveball actually. That house had just come back on the market because it was under offer and the people had not been able to get finance or something. So we were able to look at it, and I just walked through the door and I cried, thank you. This is it. This is the one. This is the one. It was a crazy, ridiculous, right at the right price. It was just the right home.
Yeah.
And I guess that's probably my best example of the best thing that I have been able to manifest since what happened with selling my business in 2017. So I feel like it's been a lot of I had to do a lot of self-work and a lot of acceptance that I created my whole reality of what happened with Sans Drinks, and accepting that I created that situation, and that I was going to create Clean It, Irene, start again with the whole new business and all of those things. And I've taken it upon myself to truly know that I can create what I set out to create. And I think that's resulted in me now just putting that trust in the universe anyway. And so here we are.
Have you ever, because obviously you went through your journey with Sans Drinks, has anything ever arrived in the wrong form for you? You kind of got what you asked for, but it wasn't what you actually needed. Have you ever had that misalignment in what you were sort of intending, but then you got it and you weren't, like a bit like Sans
Yes,
Drinks.
I will, because at the time when Sans Drinks fell to shit, and let's just call it for what it is, and I was really mad at Dan Murphy's and I was really angry with the world and couldn't understand how me being, you know, the best entrepreneur in the world could possibly create this amazing business that, you know, didn't take over Dan Murphy's. Yes, so how did I, well, you know, looking, I just couldn't even imagine my life without the business. Who would have thought, though? Who would have thought it was the best thing that ever happened to me? Because if I did not get rid of that business, I would never have been able to create Clean Nectarine. And ultimately, the stronger manifestation of my life purpose was always to, you know, have nourished life.
Yeah.
And that's what I have now. It's just
And
under,
you
it's
have
under
it
a
on
different
your
name.
terms.
Yeah, so it's basically, you got to, you know, I say Nourish Life in the generic term. It's just obviously under the Clean Nectarine name now. But, you know, yeah, being able to sell these amazing, incredible, healing, toxin-free products to people, and just that is my...
Your dharma.
That is that is the whole purpose of me being on this earth. And that was a side life, doing the non-alcoholic drinks business. But, you know,
I was
learned a lot.
surprised when you did that, actually.
Well, I wasn't allowed to do beauty anymore for however many years. So I had I just wanted to do something else.
But it was such
close.
a new kind of burgeoning area too. You were at the forefront of all of that, the non-alcoholic
Yes.
wines and spirits, huh?
Yes. Okay, real question, not the elevator pitch. What is manifestation to you at its most honest? Like, what are we actually talking about here?
I think if you had to sum it up at its most honest, I would say intentionality, because it's the practice of just getting really clear on what you want. And by that, I mean your whole system, your mind, your body, your attention, your decisions. And then you're just starting kind of orientating towards it. But it's not passive wishing. I wish I had $5 million and writing it on a piece of paper. I don't think it's that. Like, even though you said that with the 20 million, I feel like there was so much more to it for you than just that, you know, than writing it in a book. Yes, that's a good start, but there are so many other things that have to be in alignment for that to happen. It's not just like sitting on the couch thinking positive thoughts and waiting for that check to come in the mail. I feel like it's an ongoing active practice of alignment for me anyway. It's about being really present in life, and, you know, when you're in that flow state and things just happen and your heart is aligned too, and your actions and your heart are both aligned. It's like that simpatico.
Yeah, but
that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not about whether or not you write down $20 million and Ferrari on it. But can we not say Ferrari? Can we please say Porsche? Please. It's not about writing down a Porsche and just a Ferrari.
Is it Porsche or Porsche?
It's Porsche when you own a Porsche.
Porsche, okay.
But I think when you own a Ferrari, you call it a Porsche. No, I'm really just not a Ferrari girl. But I think that it doesn't matter whether or not you're writing it on a piece of paper that you want 20 million, or you are dreaming about some of the amazing, I want to talk more about some of the things you've manifested. It's not about those things. It's about, and you hit the nail on the head, it's about alignment.
Yeah.
And so I don't think it matters if you write it down and think of a Ferrari or you think of something else. It's really, if you can get in alignment, the universe,
I agree.
The universe has no choice. And it's it's like the law of attraction. That's what they call the law of attraction. Apparently, the law of attraction is as universally positive, like it's so real. It is as real, if not more real, than gravity, apparently. So, for example, if you take a brick, let me give you an example, Lee. I know you're a little bit more cynical than I am on this, but if you take a brick and you drop it in this time-space reality that we're in, that brick is going to fall on the ground, right? It's not going to float in the air.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you are truly aligned with what you want to manifest, the universe has to give that to you in the same way that the universal gravity makes that brick fall down. And that is the true essence of manifestation. It's all about being in alignment, and you're looking at me really skeptical.
No. I'm just thinking, you did mention the law of attraction. I want to ask you, where does it sit for you spiritually? Because some people think of manifestation and it's secular, like it's neuroscience and it's habit. And then other people manifest and it's more deeply connected to faith or something larger. Where does it sit spiritually for you?
For me, it doesn't matter as long as you believe it. So a lot of people can pray to their spiritual leader no matter what religion you believe in, and miracles can happen. They would not call that.
You sound like Esther Hicks.
I know, do I? haven't listened to her for a while. But I think what I'm trying to say is that some people manifest things, but they would never call it manifestation because in their religion, like Catholic religion, I don't think we use that the word manifestation. We might call it, as in the Catholic religion, right, we might call it a miracle, right? But really all is that you've asked for something from a God and, you know, and it's come true. And that's kind of what that manifestation is.
Yeah.
That's a bit, is that really woohoo?
No, I mean, it depends. It's just about your take on it. It's all the same at the end of the day, isn't it? In terms of being in alignment and trusting something.
It's all about being
religion,
in alignment. So let me give you a really interesting example of solid proof of what I just said about the law of attraction, how it is how it's the same as the law of gravity. Have you ever noticed that some people who are assholes get like lots of money or have really good things happen to them and they don't deserve it? Let's be honest, they don't. And there's other people out there that are really lovely people that do amazing charity work that really deserve a break and they just don't get a break. Do you ever notice that the universe doesn't discriminate? Okay, the universe only gives. So those asshole people that got all that money or whatever, they just truly believe they deserved it, and the other person that really did deserve it may not have believed they deserved it. And that is the way that the universe works, in my belief. You don't believe that exact. How do you believe in manifestation, but you don't believe in that exact same thing? Because you're looking at me like I'm crazy.
No, I believe in it for more as okay, for me it all centers around the love piece, right? How do you bring this back to love and intention? So I ask myself, will this make the world a better place? Is it going to be better or is it going to be worse? If it's coming from comparison that you were talking about, comparison or fear, I feel like you hit a ceiling with it. But if you are manifesting and it's rooted in genuine love for yourself, for your family, for your contribution, the energy is completely different.
That's only because you have used that as an excuse for you to get into alignment and for you to believe it. And I think that saying that, is it better for the universe if I get the 20 million, for example, because I'm going to help people and do all these things with it. That's just your way.
That's the way I look at it. It's not a spiritual claim. I'm not making any spiritual claims here. This is more of a practical one for me. So the way I look at it, if you're manifesting out of fear, if it's a fear-based intention, there's a lot of resistance. There is going to be resistance.
Yeah.
If it's a love-based intention, there's more pull.
Absolutely. And that's just the alignment and it's just the belief.
Yeah. You're saying, who does this serve? Maybe you're not ready to manifest something at that point. Maybe there's not enough self-love in you, or maybe like those people that you were talking about before. I'm not sure, but I use it as a barometer, the love thing. I use it as a check-in, Is this going to help and serve my family, myself, or others? That's my check-in.
You are such a beautiful person, Lee. I mean, and this is so interesting with us because you always go back to that because you are such a giver and such a beautiful, warm, kind soul. And that is why you manifest the things that you manifest. And I'd love you just to tell everyone the story about how you found the scarf and those. Can you just say, like, because that's the little things for you, and it's just so beautiful.
Well, that's a thing that has been happening, like, growing up and throughout my life. So, for example, if ever I need something, I'll go for a walk and it will turn up. For example, my friends asked me to go a couple of years ago in Palmy, come down to the golf club and we're going to do a golfing course, and we're going to do it for 6 weeks. But I didn't have any golf clubs. And I went for a walk, and literally outside the front of my house, there was a whole case of golf clubs in a case with everything ready to go right there. And then just last week, I'm going to Scotland in November, and my friend was walking with me and she goes, it's going to be incredibly cold in Scotland. You'll need a scarf. And I looked down and there was a Ralph Lauren scarf by my feet on the ground. That happens to me all the time. I don't know what it is, but it's just a weird thing.
This is manifesting, see?
Is it? But sometimes I don't even, it's so in the moment.
But Lee, my question to you is, this is the question.
I don't sit there and write a list of what I need.
Because you all do it differently. Everyone does it differently. Different. But I've got to ask you this question. And everyone listening is going to ask this question. As you're walking down the street thinking you need a scarf and some golf clubs, do you not walk down the street thinking you might need a Ferrari?
No, but sometimes I'm not even thinking that I need it. It's so weird too, because sometimes it's like, I'm walking and it's really hot and I need to put my hair up, and I'll look down and there'll be an elastic band on the ground. It's very, very in the moment. You know what I'm saying?
It's actually amazing.
Yeah, it's very in the moment. I want to talk about before the science. I want to really talk about now the tradition of manifesting, because I find this really interesting. Because manifestation didn't begin with a DVD in 2006. We know that. Didn't begin with The Secret.
Didn't it?
No.
Oh.
I want to know. This is what I want to ask you. I want to know who your people are, your heroes, your divas, your Bibles, the teachers that you actually return to.
Well, we talked about Esther Hicks and The Secret. I think that's probably the best example.
Yeah.
They've channeled all these books. But there's other books, and like Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life. I know that one is everyone who's read that has had a profound awakening. But there are a lot of others like that. But they all say the same thing. Which is pretty much everything that I was saying in this whole episode. They've probably articulated it a lot better, and I've sort of tried to explain my experience on how it's worked for me. But ultimately, it comes back to, what is written in those books anyway.
I do think the Louise Hay book is very interesting. It's a very interesting book, and I think it still holds true today, a lot of it. What she says
all
in
of these
book.
things
You
are...
Can Heal Your Life.
Yeah.
It's a very good book, isn't it?
It is, and all of these things are timeless, completely timeless, and they talk... It's interesting because in the books, there's one of these books, and I think it might have been one of the books from the Esther Hicks library, and these are all free. I think you can just download them on Spotify. Some of them you just download and listen to on Spotify. They're amazing. I think they talk about in these hard financial and uncertain times, and they are talking about, this is in the late 90s, I think, that they wrote this. So it's interesting because we are again, or we always are, in some sort of hard financial, political times, and the I think the point I'm trying to make is right now, in where we are, in 2026, winter 2026, we are in a economic climate where we have a cost of living crisis. Things are tough for business, real tough for business right now.
Definitely.
We've got the cost of shipping is insane, and I think we just need to remember that this is not unique to now.
No, it's definitely not. That's why I'm so interested in wisdom that doesn't have a slogan that you can sell on it. So, for example, I love the older traditions that I feel personally carry more gravity. Taoism, as you know, like I'm really interested in that because it doesn't demand force. It asks you for attunement. It teaches you about life and how life moves more cleanly when you stop trying to dominate everything. And, you know, you're just going with the river. You're moving with the river. You're not trying to control everything. Also, like for me, you know, going back to my house, I was praying to the Indian gods. I still think that returning to the Indian goddess traditions like Shakti and Parvati and Kali, they understand transformation as something sacred, not just being dramatic or wanting something like that. Like they remind us that creation and dissolutions are part of the same divine intelligence. And those traditions feel more trustworthy to me, but I'm not discounting, you know, who you kind of are inspired by, because if it's helping you, it's a good thing, right?
Absolutely. And how about for you, books and Bibles?
Oh, books and Bibles. Obviously the Tao is like one of the ones I'm most interested in at the moment, because I love that it doesn't overpromise. There's no shortcut. There's no shortcut around pain. You have to go through things. You have to, you know, it doesn't confuse desire with destiny. And you have to have patience, and you have to put in a practice and a willingness for things to change. Not just, oh, I deserve this and I want it and I just, you know, it should be. They feel more sort of serious spiritually to me, and they don't flatter the ego. They refine the ego. They bring you back to earth. Does that make sense?
It does. How about, what are your thoughts on Kabbalah? I
actually don't know much about Kabbalah. I know one of my friends has just she just married in London, and she has gotten really into the Kabbalah. She loves it. She said it's really helping her. I'm not. I don't know enough about it to comment on it.
Either do I. I think that's something that I want to get into, because I think, and I don't know, but I think that the Kabbalah is deeply based on being able to create reality of what you want in life, and that really appeals to me, because everything that we've spoken about today in this episode it's not formula. It's an interesting episode, because in so many of our episodes we talk about, okay, for example, the Mediterranean diet. Okay, give me the recipe. What's the recipe, Lee?
Yes.
Or gut health. What am I not eating, right? But this is different. This is such a unique topic that there really isn't a a prescription on how to do this. And I think the way I do it and the way you do it are very different.
I think they come from different places, but I do think for everybody it's really wise to ask whether the teaching stands on its own once all of that packaging is removed, once the cult personality who's leading it is gone. But I'm drawn to more lineages that kind of are quiet, more in practice, more in ethics, and the way that it deepens a person's life.
Yeah, and I just want to say as well, on the flip side of this topic, maybe, I don't know if it's my turn for a rant, but my rant on this topic is those so-called wellness people that, I mean, if you are on Instagram talking about you manifested this and you manifested that and buy my course to manifesting, run away from those people. That is not, I mean, because I feel that I've got a really good authority on this. A few reasons. Firstly, you know, I would never, ever like sell a course or a manifestation mantra or whatever. You don't need it. You actually don't need it. It's as simple as this. Write down what you want, because you need to write it down somewhere. Get a notebook, write down what you want. Then close the book and just start living the life as if you had it, and truly believe that you have it. Do you know how many times I looked at Porsches up at Porsche Willoughby before I manifested a car? Was able to trade in my VW. years until I
Yes.
felt, because the first time that I went into Porsche, I felt really uncomfortable. I felt like I don't deserve this. I am a, what's the word when you
Imposter.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I felt like I had imposter syndrome. I felt that that it wasn't aligned to me at all. Right now, I'm in there getting serviced all the time, getting serviced because it always breaks down. Now I'm in there so often that Porsche Willoughby feels like my second home, right? And it just feels so normal now.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it's just become really aligned for me, and that's
Yeah.
all you need to do to manifest whatever you want.
I want to ask you, I want to go back to something because, okay, can we talk about The Secret? Because I want to get your take on it, and then I want to give you my take on it, if that's all right.
Sure.
30 million copies sold. It introduced manifestation to, an entire generation, probably including a lot of our listeners. I want to know, what did it genuinely get right, and what do you think it left out?
And I think it got everything right. There are a lot of people that believe in a lot of things with religion.
Yeah.
And I come from a Catholic family, so I know that my nonna was deeply Catholic. Mm-hmm. She worships the Catholic religion, right? Mm-hmm. Deeply. So and my kids go to Catholic school and all other things. The reality is my religion is The Secret. is everything in the law of attraction is where I feel most spiritually aligned.
Yeah.
I know you wouldn't agree, and that's okay.
No, there's a couple of things, just a couple of things that bother me about it, just with the claims. Also the wishful thinking framing. I feel it missed that we still have to do the work.
No, I'd say, but you actually don't. See, that's the thing.
I feel like you do. And that whole victim blaming implication, if you're positive and you have positive thoughts, you're going to attract good things, then suffering must be your fault. That I have an issue with that.
Yeah, I have a real issue.
I feel like it's harmful, especially when applied to like illness, poverty, grief, or trauma. And the other disappointing thing is I don't think it needs to be that way. The law of attraction doesn't need a carnival barker. But I understand it shifted millions of people, and for that, like, I'm really happy and glad about that. But I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with it.
No, you're and I've struggled with this so much. I've really, and I don't want to go deep or get negative about anything. But yes, if you create your own reality, then, why did bad things happen to people that clearly don't deserve it? And that is a question that I ask myself almost every day, in that if you create your own reality, I accept that, okay, I created I created a shit business with or whatever back in the day. And I accept that. But I wouldn't have been able to accept that I created a reality where, I had a sick child or something like that. And I don't understand that part of it. And that's just something that I don't understand how the universe works in that way, because I truly don't believe that people that attract bad things to themselves that don't deserve it attracted it.
There's another side to that too, and that is science.
Okay, so let's go into the science then, because this is what moves the conversation past just the feeling.
The vibes.
Yeah, the vibes, yeah. So what's the actual research? Okay, here you go, Lee, with the clinical research.
Okay, in literature, it does live across different names. There's mental imagery, visualization, mental rehearsal, because those are the terms that get through peer review. Okay, so brain imaging shows that vividly imagining an experience activates many of the same neural networks as actually having it. So you're actually activating the same neural networks, whether you're having the experience or you're just visualizing it. Isn't that amazing? Like when you see sports teams, that's why elite athletes run a course hundreds of times in their head, or they play a soccer game or a football game in their head. So the RAS, or the reticular activating system, is this bundle of nerves at the brainstem that filters the enormous amount of sensory information that your brain receives every second. It'll let through what you've told it, and it'll let through what matters, and it filters out the rest. Okay, here's a classic example. you are manifesting a red Porsche, right? And then suddenly you see them everywhere. It didn't just appear suddenly. Your RAS, your reticular activation system, stopped filtering them out because you flagged them as relevant. So manifestation is your brain doing exactly what it's designed to do when you give it a clear direction. Whether you get it or not depends on a number of factors. However, you will see a lot of them more.
Okay. You know what's okay. So, for example, if I'm thinking, oh, there's a word for it. There is a word for that. Okay. There's actually a word in The Secret. I think it's The Secret that explains that. Do you know what it's called?
What?
It's called driftwood. So
Yes,
if you're trying to
that's
manifest a Porsche and that's what you've decided you want to do, then you are going to see Porsches. Every time you drive, your VW around, all you're going to see is going to be a Porsche behind you, a Porsche parked on the road. That's called driftwood. And what that means is it's a coming. It's a coming.
It's on its way.
It's on its way. And were you just trying to explain the scientific? I could have just told them, guys, if you want to,
it's in The Secret.
it's in The Secret. And it's called
gotta be
driftwood.
All right, let's get specific. We've talked about the theory now. I want to talk about your practice. What does your actual practice look like day to day? How long? What form? When? Does it just happen when it happens? Have you got, I know you've got your book and you write things down. Tell me about it.
Oh, it's really, let's get practical now. And I think I have found a solution. So I'm a true believer in a vision board. And for creating Nourish Life and Sans Drinks and not so much Clean Nectarine, but for all of the things that I've ever created, I've always cut pictures out of magazines and put them on a vision board, and I've put that vision board right where I see it, like on my bedroom wall. And that's what I've done since I went to that
That's your
event.
thing.
That's my thing. However, there are no magazines anymore. There's right, yeah. So
but there's online apps for vision boards, right?
Correct. So that's exactly right. So so I'm really struggling at the moment because I've thought about because just printing out something from Pinterest is not clear enough. I find it's just on the printing quality isn't good.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing now is there's an app. I wish I could. I'll put it in the show notes. There is an app. I think it's like $10 a month. It's not cheap, but it allows you to create a vision board on the app. But I don't believe that creating a vision board on a computer and closing your computer down is going to bring it to life. I believe that you need to have it. So what my plan is I want to create this vision board. I don't think anyone's invented this, but I think this is a good invention, is that you create this vision board online and then you send it to someone and then they put it on a big, like 1 meter board for you and ship it to you in like a frame. And then you put that on your wall and then that's what you look at.
That's what you can do in Canva.
In Canva. Yeah, okay, so Canva. Canva's fine. Okay, great. So forget that other app. You could use Canva.
Yeah.
But how do you get that printed?
Because they print on Canva now. So you could do it all on Canva.
Hang on, what?
They print things for you.
Who?
I just had my friend's birthday and I printed her a beautiful card and it was a photo of her and her cat. And I designed the card up and I did it in like a watercolor, so it had that beautiful sort of old-fashioned painting feeling. And then you press print and you get it printed and they send it to you within 3 days.
No.
Yeah,
that's my
amazing.
idea.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
that's
what they do.
So
Australian company.
Okay, so
Canva.
1 billion%, if you want to manifest anything you want, anyone who is listening, I think you can do this in about 3 to 6 months. You do that, get it printed, stick it up on your wall where you see it every day, and I promise you, the amount of vision boards when I moved house that I pulled out of my old garage and I looked at it and I went, oh yeah, oh wow, I've got that colour Porsche. Oh wow, I bought that house. I've got that. And so it does work.
I do want to make a point too for the people listening. for our listeners. I think people process things really differently. Obviously, visual thinkers, which you are, you respond to imagery. You've got the 12 vision boards, and they're really useful for you. But I think if you're a verbal thinker, you need words. So journaling and scripting, that's me.
Oh, you do mantras. See, I don't do mantras.
I'm a like a writer, so
Yeah.
I like to write. And then kinesthetic people, they want to feel it in their body. They want to speak and feel the intentions while they're walking or physically acting. Some people don't get like staring at a vision board. They just look at it standing there and they feel nothing. And that's not the right practice for them. But I think it is about the format, and I think it's about the person.
You are so right, because you keep telling me about your mantra. Can you share it with everyone? Because it's amazing and it's profound, but I try to do it and it just doesn't resonate with me. For me, it's just easier to get the board.
My mantra is I'm healthy, wealthy, safe and wise.
I love that so much, but that works for you. See, that doesn't work for me.
I say it 20,000 times a day.
I don't feel it. Yeah, for me, it's the excitement of knowing that Canva can print. That, for me, has just changed my life, knowing that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's going to give you that clarity. And you can put everything on your vision board, everything that matters, and you can stay across it, which I think is amazing. All right, let's talk about one of the harder parts, and that is letting go. I want to ask you about this. Okay, I want to spend some real time here. You do all the work. You've got the intention, the visualization. You've got 12 vision boards, the alignment. And then the instructions are, with manifestation, is to release it, which kind of sounds counterintuitive, don't you think? To just let it go into the ether.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I don't. I think that if it was easy, then everyone would be driving around in a Ferrari, right? And I think that when we decide to come down to earth, we were given these tools, and they are a practice. And I think that if you can master it, then you get it. And if you can't master it, you don't get it. And I think that's just the trick. And they do it on purpose to make it hard. And there's nothing harder in the world than wanting something and then letting it go. Because if you're obsessed and you want something, then you can't let it go. And that's
the issue. That's what the
problem.
older traditions give us. They give us that sense of letting go. Because when you're white knuckling something, that's fear energy. You're obsessively checking. Is it arrived yet? Is it coming? Is it coming? That's what your thoughts are telling your whole body. I don't have it. I'm scared I won't get it. It's not going to happen. And then it prevents your relaxed state and your brain what it needs for the creative and connective thinking to move things forward.
I can tell you I really profoundly understood this weekend, because I decided I really loved my house and I wasn't going to sell it anymore. I contacted the stylist and I said, you know what, whatever styling furniture you've got in here, I'm just going to buy it and we're going to take it off the market. I let it go, the whole thing about moving away. I let it go, and I was quite happy after I did the prayer thing and everything. I was quite happy just to stay where I was. And then the dream house came and I realised it's because I let it go. And you know what I'm struggling with now? I only want one thing, right? And that's very obvious. Yeah, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do that with some some topics I can do and other topics I can't.
Do you know what? I'm going to do a 2-minute short guided practice for listeners. How about that? Sound good?
Love it.
All right.
And for me, a practice for me, let's do it. Can I do it now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
All right. What I want you to do, we're going to take a minute together, minute or two. You comfortable?
Very.
You're warm enough?
Very.
Close your eyes, wherever you are. Not if you're driving, but if you're in a chair. And then just breathe. Just take a big, deep breath in through the nose, into the belly. And as you breathe in, feel your tummy expand. Hold the breath for 5 seconds. And then exhale for 5. Feel your tummy contract. Exhale through the nose. Relax the shoulders. Relax the face and jaw. Relax your thoughts. Relax your mind. Relax your heart. Take another big deep breath in through the nose. In for 5. Hold for 5. Exhale for 5. And I want you to think of one thing, not a whole list of things. I just want you to think of one thing. Something that you want in your life that you fully haven't let yourself want yet. Think about that thing. And then I want you to think and ask, is this coming from love? Is it coming from something genuine and true? And once you've asked yourself that question, I want you to imagine yourself already living it. The feel of an ordinary day, the quality of the air, who is with you, how you're feeling. Feel the feeling. Feel how it feels to have that thing. And then just gently let it go and just release it with your breath. And trust that it's already in motion. And then slowly open your eyes and come back to the present. How you feeling? Feel shifted?
How do I feel?
Yeah.
Oh, I think that was beautiful. I think that was amazing.
See, you can let it go once you.
No, I
put it
haven't.
out
I
there.
haven't. I'm hoping other people have. But yeah, I struggle with that.
Anyway, the thing is,
Because I think
manifestation is not about being perfect either. You can just do things your way.
Could people?
It doesn't have to be my way.
No,
My
but-
way is not.
No, I
my
love
way
that.
or the highway.
When this episode comes out, can we put in the show notes that the timestamp of when we did that? Because
Yeah.
I truly believe, because you're like amazing. I truly do believe in meditation, and actually that is something that comes, that the secret says the reason that what you just did works, and there's science behind it.
Yeah.
Because when you meditate, you are forcing yourself to let everything go.
Yeah.
And when you let everything go, that's when everything comes. And so I think for me, I'm going to, when the episode comes out, I'm just going to listen to that. How long was that? 2 minutes?
A minute, maybe.
A minute meditation. I think I really truly believe that if I just listen to that every day, and it's the practice of focusing on what you said rather than thinking about what I want,
Yes.
that is going to be that's going to turn the dial.
Let's see. That
All
would
right,
be interesting.
but hang on,
to
before okay, so I just want to do it. So as of today, which is July, winter, so July, this episode will come out in July 2026.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what I'm going to manifest, and you're going to tell me what you're going to manifest. Okay, I'm going to manifest. I want 10,000 more of my Nourish Life customers to find me at Clean Nectarine and switch over, right? And know that I'm here. I want them to find me. That's my manifestation.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm going to give myself until, I want to say December, but you're not supposed to put a timeline on it. But let's just say 6 months. Okay, that's my manifestation, and I'm going to listen to that meditation. I don't care, every single day, and I'm going to do my vision board. I'm going to want to come back in 6 months' time and see if that actually happens. So that's mine. What's yours?
Oh, mine is, we've got a really big, important meeting coming up in September with a very important business person. And I'm going to manifest that we get a positive outcome through meeting this person, and things go really well in our favor. And yeah, I'm feeling that they will. And that's what I'm manifesting,
I
a good
love that.
outcome.
Do you know what most people manifest? To be a best-selling author. Can I? Did you ever manifest that? Did you ever?
No, it was all about the work and helping people and the mission. It's always about the purpose
Because
and the mission and
I've
love.
never heard, I have heard those words come out of many Instagram influencers' mouths. I want to be a best-selling author. I have never heard that come out of your mouth.
I don't think I would ever say that.
Isn't that interesting? Yet it's always been, I want to help people. I want to know what their illnesses are. I want to be out. Isn't that interesting? Because like you are a best-selling author.
Thank you.
Isn't that interesting that
It is. Yeah.
you know, you're so aligned though with that and your mission, that those other things. Well, I hope your meeting in the future comes into fruition, and I really think we should revisit this episode and see what our progress is. And for anybody listening, can you please email us?
Yes.
And let us know what you want to manifest.
Yeah.
And I think we should revisit all of this.
And come and talk to us on Instagram at the Lee and Irene Show, and send us a DM and let us know how you're going with your manifestation.
Yeah, send us a picture of your vision board as well that you've created on Canva. We want to
put them up. Can we put them up on Instagram?
We'll ask,
all the vision boards.
Yeah, we'll ask anyone that sends it in if we can share it. That would be amazing.
This has been so enlightening. I think, you know what, to sum it all up, we all have different ways of going about it, but our intentions are good. And yeah, it doesn't really matter the way that you do it or what you believe in or your spiritual bent, you know. You do what works for you.
So Justin, I know, I'm not sure if manifestation is your thing. Are you still awake?
I'm very much awake, and manifestation is really big for me.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. And it and the reason why, and it goes back to that question you guys had somewhere in there, was about where it started for you. And I'll tell you, because I have actually got a question. I just really believe in the manifestation idea.
Yeah.
Because it's real for me.
And I also know as well, are you going to share, can you share your manifestation about your home as well?
Oh, yeah.
Because
I'll do that.
was...
Yeah.
That's full on. Like what you literally manifested the impossible. Let's get to that. But
and your mum, wasn't she into?
Yeah, that's.
Is it all of our mums? What is this?
Oh, my mum.
Actually, that's interesting, isn't it? It's all our mums. Yeah, tell us about your mum.
So I had a really, I guess you could say traumatic, but really, let's just call it awkward youth and teenage years. And and it manifested in a lot of different ways, and none of them were good. And my mother also, she had a lot of trauma in her life, a ton of trauma. And instead of, I don't know, you could go down so many different paths, she really got into manifestation, and she was doing yoga in the 70s, and she would have these books, like Louise Hay is like one of hers favourites. And this is in the 70s and 80s, and she left this one book out, and she never really kind of tried to convince me about it, but she just left it around, and I just picked it up, and I just recently rebought it because it was just in my mind. It was the Creative Visualization by Shakti Gawan.
Yeah.
Can we put that in the show notes? You've told me about that before, and I was supposed to.
I love creative
I need to read that.
visualization.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Because that's me. I'm a very creative person. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's there's one particular one I remembered from, I would have been a teenager, and the reason what I love about it is I go back to that Justin in teenage, hating myself, hating life, hating awkward, didn't have any. It gave me hope.
Yeah.
It gave me hope. It just said, all these forces are against you in your mind or in reality, but no, you can actually imagine something different.
Because there's that other book, isn't it? The Universe Has Got Your Back. That's a famous book.
Yeah.
Don't know who wrote that. Who wrote that?
I'm not sure.
It sounds good. I don't
Someone
know.
someone on Instagram wrote that, and it's someone. It's someone. Can you look it up? Because that's another really good one, and I think that's what you got out of that is the universe. No matter how much you weren't happy with yourself, the universe has got you.
But it was also an action that I could do. I could do that. I could start thinking about that as a positive action. I couldn't really fix the acne on my face, And I couldn't fix how skinny I was or how, not that academic I was or not very sport. I couldn't fix a lot of these things, but I could imagine a different future and a different now. And it gave me hope. That's what it was. And it has ever since. And when I've had other, parts of my life where I've had to kind of dig deep, it's really helped me. And one of the ones for me has been from a partner of ours, Lee, business partner from Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel.
He
was
knew I was in a
amazing.
bad way, and he just told me about Ho'oponopono.
Have you heard of that, Ho'oponopono?
Never.
It's a Hawaiian spiritual practice. It's amazing.
And it just talked to me. And in fact, my tattoo there is Ho'oponopono.
Oh.
And it's a kind of a rectangle, but it's
Can you
it's
read?
a Hawaiian.
Can you tell us what the actual sayings are?
I can, but I think people should look into it, but as opposed to me
Is it
saying,
is it like an alternative to the Kabbalah?
no, it's not even. It's a prayer. It's basically
prayer.
It's a 4-sentence prayer.
I will say it.
Well, can I just give you? Well, I don't know. I've
Well,
never
yeah, I
actually
want
talked
you to.
about it before.
Well,
but
that's okay. Well, you can't just say
Oh, no, of
this and then
course.
not say it. So, what's the prayer? And let's put it in the show notes.
It's. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you.
And is that what the tattoo means?
Well, that means affinity. Yeah, in Hawaiian, but that's it. That is it.
But
And
who are we saying that
to
to?
whoever you wanted to say
Everyone.
to say to the,
It's a Hawaiian
So-
forgiveness prayer.
and it's basically
Are you forgiving yourself, or are
if
you?
you want to, if you and I'm putting it out there, and I say it all the time, but the one line I say 100 times a day is I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And I just can't say it enough. I've never got bored of it. In my mind is saying, if I'm feeling stressed about something or not happy about myself or somebody else or something, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And yeah, but it's one of those things that I think if you look into it and it's for you, that's fine. But it's for
I
me.
think
It worked
for
me.
you, like as an awkward teenager, you had something to hold on to with your mum being interested
Thank God for my
in
mum, because I would have
creative visualization. But the Ho'oponopono is correcting what is out of balance. So if you feel out of balance, it is, I'm sorry, is the acknowledgement. Please forgive me is the release and repentance. Thank you is the gratitude. And I love you is the compassion and return to connection. So you're returning to peace through forgiveness, gratitude and love, which is kind of what we were talking about before.
I see. I
in
absolutely
manifestation.
love that, and the other, and I love that isn't for me, but I love that works for you.
Yeah,
the
I
other,
love it.
The other one people talk about a lot is gratitude, and I don't buy into that either because I don't like. I'm just like for me, I'm just like not really into the I love yous and the gratitudes. I'm just into the vision board. Put the Porsche on there and let's get it. But
That's why
we're
in
all
a
different.
way I'm a bit. I was kind of reluctant to even mention it because it's for me, and I don't want to. I'm not trying to. I never evangelize anything. I just don't believe in that.
No,
'cause
but there's
people
going to be
find
a
their own
whole
way.
bunch of people that resonate with that much more than my version.
Gratitude is in research and science. It can actually positively improve mood, reduce stress, support your well-being,
I don't understand
lower
it.
inflammation.
Lower
It really
inflammation.
does. Like I
I
have
don't
just written a
understand.
book
What
on
are you
this,
supposed to say
and
though? I don't get it. I don't get. Okay, so tell me then.
It
since we're on-
takes your shift away from threat and scarcity.
But what
for
are
a
you
start.
saying gratitude for?
Anything, everything,
I'm grateful.
breathing.
Yeah.
I don't get
I'm
it.
so glad I woke up this morning and I'm here and I can breathe.
But
Just
is it-
simple
maybe
things.
but isn't that just a given?
I'll get into that. What I manifested in a
Oh
second.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
My only kind of it's not pushback. One of my things is say let's just talk about karma for a second because is that kind of in the area?
Well, that's a whole different. Well, that's a different one altogether.
Well, I guess it's just use that karma as an example. I don't believe in karma because I believe karma is a transaction. If you do this, you get good things.
I tend to agree with
And
you.
I don't like transactional anything. It's I don't believe in if you do this, you're doing it for a strategic reason to get that. It should just be gratuitous and love and purpose and all that kind of stuff. And if it happens, it happens. And it's but not that, oh, I didn't get it, therefore the universe is against me or something like that. No, it's not a transaction. It's your own. Yeah, it's a purpose.
I don't think I can really judge. Who am I to judge karma?
Well, I guess technically when I say, oh, something that doesn't go, Dan Murphy's karma, I guess for me, do I think that Dan Murphy's is going to go out of business? No. But I do believe in that karma, in that I suppose I could say, okay, thank you. Go back to the Hawaii and think, okay, thank you, Dan Murphy's, for, killing my business. Because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be able to do my clean nectarine. I'm going to get 10,000 of my Nourish Life customers in the next 6 months.
Yeah.
Right? So is that right? And that's my karma, right? Because that's karma's back to me. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I would argue that you wouldn't. I'm not going to argue.
No, you can argue.
But you don't even have to say. You just say thank you. You don't have to say because she did that. Because you made me open clean nectarine.
It doesn't actually feel right to me to say thank you to them, actually.
Yeah.
Because I hold a grudge to them.
Yeah. So I'll move on because I'm the editor of this. And
I'll get them.
It's going to take you a long time.
I'm gonna get them in my next life.
Go. You go, girl. So what I manifested, Irene, is what you mentioned when you walked into this cabin today when you saw me.
Yes.
Is that I had a long time where I was renting and I just didn't have the mindset or the spirit or whatever you want to call it to buy something because I just wasn't in that place. And just one day I just clicked that I went, oh no, I'm right for it now. And I'd done a lot of work on myself and my spirit and stuff. And then I said, well, here I go. And I'm not a property person. I don't know much about it and all that kind of stuff. But I did kind of have a goal in mind with a dollar amount. Do I mention the dollar amount or? Anyway, had a dollar amount.
I don't think you need to. I don't think you need to mention the dollar amount, but I will say this. It was a dollar amount that
outrageous.
You couldn't have bought in that area, and we'll say the area, since, I'm going to say probably since 1983. So we're talking about you had a 1983 budget, and what did you buy?
I bought a unit in Bondi in a better position than where I was renting, which wasn't hard. And it's just perfect. It's light. It's small enough for me. It's big enough for me. And
it's in Bondi.
It's in Bondi.
Walking distance to Bondi Beach.
I literally can walk to the beach in 10 minutes max. And my friends are there, Struly's there, and my niece is right up the road. It's just
incredible. And then it's the perfect spot.
Yeah, and it might not be everybody's cup of tea, but it's
but it's yours.
It's your cup of tea.
And
I remember I said to Justin, I am coming. I'm coming to the auction, and I'm going to bid for you.
Oh, did Lee bring this? Did you do it?
I bid.
You brought your manifestation god with you.
I had the little number in my hand. And I said to myself, I am not leaving this auction without that hammer gavel going down and
literally
having a property.
To the dollar.
To the actual dollar, we got it.
Yeah.
Well, he got it.
I think
you were so aligned. You were so aligned with it.
I was just, there was no way I was walking out of there without it.
Within literally 6 weeks of me deciding that I was going to buy a place, I had this place.
Yeah.
And I couldn't think of a better place. And in a way, I don't. There's partly manifestation, but there's also partly, I literally think that the universe is going, okay, Justin, we can give you this.
Was it after you read that book?
What book?
The Creative Thinking.
Oh, no, I read that when I was a teenager.
Yeah, but you said you read it recently.
Oh, yeah, no. It was after that. It was before that. And I just think, I don't know, I honestly believe that if there was I felt some kind of universal thing of, you can have good luck. You can have something good happen to you and something is remarkable.
Another thing I want to mention on that, which I think the three of us have all had in our own way and we haven't mentioned it yet, and that is in each of the 3 times when we have brought a manifestation into reality, it has all been flowed without any hiccups. So, for example,
Effortless action, as they say in the
Is that
Tao.
what it is? Yeah,
Yeah.
it was because
I
you
think
went.
it's we were or something like that.
So
in
you did
Tao.
the wee wah because you went into the Bondi, you beard, it just was all, it all flowed. And the same thing happened with your story, Lee, when you talked about this house. You saw it was in COVID, you made the offer, you spoke to the Indian gods and whatever, and it just flowed. There was no issues. And the same thing happened with me only this weekend when I sold and bought my house at the same time after I did my little prayer in the cafe. It was just, there was no hiccups. It just happened really effortlessly. And I think
Wu Wei, that is it. The
And is-
Taoist idea of effortless action.
and that must come, I'm going to assume, from, oh, here we go, bringing it all full circle with being in true alignment with what is
You're in
yours.
harmony with the natural flow of things.
There you go. Same as
And
being in
that
alignment.
doesn't come with pushing and resisting, and it comes with just being intrinsically aligned and attuned.
See, I'm aligned with my 10,000 customers. They're going to come back to me. I'm aligned and it flows to me.
I'll end my part of this with an epilogue to that story.
Yes.
Which I don't know if I've told you, Irene. You know that dollar amount that I bought the place for? Remarkable amount. And I said to and they actually, I was a bit below that, and they said, can you do this number? I said, yes. And, they pressed yes on it. It was and she said, the guy said, you know what, everybody's happy. You're happy. The client is really happy with that number. So it was a great deal, but it's a great deal for everybody. No one got shafted or no one got a dud deal.
Same with me. How about you? That's just what happened with me. Everyone was happy.
Everyone was happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were all harmonious and happy. Nothing was forced. Everything. Well, that's it. That's another episode done and dusted. So don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss an episode of the Lee and Irene Show, and please share freely. You can also drop into our DMs and check my nutritionist nerd notes for all of the ideas that we discussed today on whatever platform you're listening to now. And until next time, let's all manifest love, love, love.
Bye.
Mwah.
The Lee and Irene Show is a production of Clean Nectarine Proprietary Limited and Supercharged Food Proprietary Limited. It is hosted by Lee Holmes and Irene Falcone with editing and technical support by Justin Smidmore. It is for informational and educational purposes only and does not constitute medical, health, legal or financial advice. The views expressed are personal opinions of the hosts and guests and do not represent the views of Clean Nectarine or Supercharged Food. This podcast does not establish a doctor-patient or other professional relationship. Always consult a qualified healthcare professional before making any changes to your health or treatment.